5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all: entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
What's going on, good people? Welcome on in. Welcome to another episode of Reading Between the Wines. Before we get started, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for giving me another opportunity to come out here and give y'all the Form 1 podcast, giving me enough strength, courage, wisdom, and growth in all of this because we got more things coming. So, yes, I could not do it without him because obviously without him, none of this would be possible. And each and every one of you out there who have been listening, supporting, I definitely do appreciate you. I see you. I see you out there. I want to give a very special shout out to Will Serve. Thank you so much for showing some love on Facebook. Thank you so much to the people out there in Daily Motion, Spotify. I see y'all out there. And I just want to say thank you so much and continue to share and just stay engaged with the content. The content. I definitely do appreciate it. So here we are, episode 7, the tab you keep avoiding. Another episode of Reading Between the Wines here on this Wind Down Wednesday. Let's get right on into it. Song of the day: Oops Up. I don't know if y'all remember this song, Oops Up, by the group Snap, but they sampled it from the original, the Gap Band, Oops Upside Your Head. So that's just basically it. Like, it's a oops, like oops upside your head. You gotta like know what the record is to understand. It's like when you get yourself into something. And we're gonna speak about how when you avoid things, it just keeps your balance just growing and growing and growing. So we don't want to avoid things. We want to address it head on and know that when we make a mistake, when it's like, oops, it's a mistake, we catch ourselves. See, the problem is, and I don't know who I'm speaking to, I'm only speaking from experience, is that when you know that you made a mistake, but that pride gets in the way, that ego gets in the way, and you don't want to admit that you make a mistake, so you keep staying in there, and the longer that you stay in there, the worse that it becomes. So don't have those moments, and if we do, just realize it's a situation and we got to fix it. Oops Up. I wish they had just titled it just like the original Oops Upside Your Head because that just sounds better. But Oops Up, 1990 from Snap. I don't know if y'all remember that group Snap, but they have some interesting songs that if you go back today and listen to them, they have so many lessons that were just so over our head because we were too busy being in a club with their records instead of actually listening to what the lyrics say. Like that song, I Got the Power, which I know y'all know that song record. I know y'all know that record from Snap because that's one of their number one hits. That is their number one hit. Pay attention to them lyrics. It means something. So I'm not going to be sampling any wine tonight. We're going to strictly turn this into Wisdom Wednesday. But I am going to give you some information and some knowledge on a grape. And we're going to go into Sauvignon Blanc. So, just one of my favorites. I have become accustomed to this Sauvignon Blanc, and it's not as bad as what I used to think about it when I first started drinking wine. But a Sauvignon Blanc is a dry, crisp, and intensely aromatic variety with a firm streak of acidity. Sauvignon Blanc has recently joined a surge in popularity. It is, excuse me, it is the heartland of the grape where it produces medium bodied, incredibly zesty white wines. Widely planted in Bordeaux, it is increasingly released as a variental wine, but is also blended with, and I'm not even gonna hold you with that one. I'm gonna just skip right on over that. Both the dry and sweet wines of the region. I'll spell it out for you. So this specific, and listen, I haven't even drinking anything tonight. This specific grape is Semillon, Semillon, but I'm sure it's different. New Zealand is home to the most powerful and aromatic expressions of Sauvignon Blanc with a vibrant gooseberry and exotic fruit flavors. This grape is sometimes aged in oak barrels in Bordeaux and California. And there you go. That's Sauvignon Blanc. Like I said, when I first started drinking wine and getting into it, I wasn't really a fan of Sauvignon Blanc and definitely wasn't a fan of Pinot Grigio and absolutely no to the Chardonnay. But out of all of those three, Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio, I can definitely rock with today. It has grown on me over a period of time. So we're here. So now we're going to go ahead and bring in my special guest, author slash poet, Birdman313. And before we do that, I want to let you know that I have some updates that I'll be sharing with you. So stay tuned, and we'll get into those a little later. So here we go, Mr. Author Birdman313. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good over here in lovely New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm here in Houston.
Okay, and how is it in Houston?
And it's cool. It's like in the 40s, 50s, something like that. This week last week it was in the 80s, and this week it's like in, the 50s.
That's a big drastic change. It does that quite often, up and down like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that too much.
Oh, it's not bad. Trust me, man. You know what? The When it's 50 here, all you gotta do is have on a sweatshirt or a
Ye-
windbreaker. It ain't
That's
that.
that's funny, cause when it's like that, I am bundled up like you wouldn't even believe. I am, cause right now it's about 30s. It's in the 30s.
Yeah.
It's gonna dip into the
Wow.
20s, but yeah.
Well, now see, yeah, I can deal with that. I mean, I can deal with it to a certain point, but now it's kind of like I don't want to, but if it gets
Mhm.
that way here, I normally don't even go outside.
Mm, I know that's right.
Yeah, like last week I was going to the park, and I'm starting to go out there and get some, get a little exercise in from outdoors and shoot pictures and videos, and I'm getting little walks in now, and little walk I took, man, I was sweating. I was like, wow, man, it was like 83 degrees, and I'm like, okay, that's good, but I enjoyed it.
That's good. That's good. I walk every day. And when I'm out there, I'm out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
have
got
a what they call. I have that thing they call
mm-hmm.
ellipse, ellipse, and I do that every day. And except for if I go out there and walk, or if I go out there and walk in the park, I don't necessarily need that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. The key is to stay active. That is
Oh
so
yeah.
important. So important.
Oh,
All right. Well, we got a lot to cover tonight and some announcements and things like that to make. So let's get right on into our do's and don'ts of money. So give me a number anywhere between 3 and 167. Let's see what we got tonight.
165.
165. Now let me make a little mental note here. 165. All right. Here we go. We got a couple of them. Don't ever give an allowance without a reason. No child deserves an allowance for just being a child. Please, allowances are to be tied to expectations for how your child contributes to the family. Don't ever give allowances for good behavior or good grades. Allowances are for actions that exceed your family's core basic expectations. I believe good behavior and good grades are basic expectations that should never be linked with money or gifts. Just think of the message you are sending. And don't pay for your teens' every want. It's your job to provide for their needs, not their wants. Set expectations. Yes, they may need a few genes, but you and I both know that you can that but you and I both know that can run you anywhere between 50 to $150. So now, what do you think about that when it comes to the don'ts, what not to do with your money?
It depends on the family, but I know when my family here, if you didn't do nothing around the house, hey, you weren't getting nothing but a meal. Place to sleep in the meal. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and my parents were more like less. Well, take out the trash. At least do that. My dad. Or like my dad was. Oh, you big enough to cut the grass. And back then, if you didn't have no power lawnmower, you had one of them push lawnmower. So there was a
Mm-hmm.
long
Hmm.
time, man, that I had to use a push lawnmower, but I got out there and did it. You know, and
Okay.
you know, I got nice allowance, and long I did something around the house, they made sure I had a little change. It wasn't much, but to me it was a lot.
Hmm.
So and like with my kids, I they didn't get no allowance. Unless they like okay, they if they went out there and they say, "Hey, Dad, how much you pay us if you wash the car?" So, well, if I take it,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Hey, well, can you give us $10 we wash the car?" That's how much I pay for used to pay for a car wash anyway. I'm like, yeah, they'll go out
Hmm.
there wash the car, and I'll give them $10.
That is very interesting because, I grew up in good old Hamilton Township, New Jersey. And let's just say that nobody really looked like me when I was in that area. Okay. So I went to school with kids that used to say, "Oh, I got an allowance. I did this, I did that." So then I thought, "Oh, okay, well, Billy got an allowance. So let me go home and, tell my mom that I want an allowance." So I did
Yeah.
that. And I want you to guess how much my allowance was.
Oh, let me see, maybe a dollar, 250, 250 or a dollar, something like that.
Mm, Back then, I wish that I had got that. I got absolutely nothing. You better clean and you better do what you're supposed to do because that's what you're supposed to do. You ain't getting nothing. Now, single mother, I get it.
Yeah.
Couldn't, but I get it. So I'm telling you, like the way that I feel about money, it started from a child. It really did because even when the ice cream truck came, Most of the times I was crying because I wasn't able to even get $1 for the ice cream truck. I'm not saying that I never did. I'm not going to say that didn't
Right.
happen. But boy, it was a rare, it was a, what do they say, a blue moon.
Yeah. Well,
So,
back when, you got to realize too, when I was growing up, I'm a little bit older than you. Hey, man, you got either a nickel, a dime, or a quarter. But that was more than a lot
hmm.
of people in our neighborhood was getting.
Well, that's okay. Listen, that's good. My grandfather used to give me $1 here or there, and I would light up like a Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
yeah.
But mm,
So
okay,
yeah,
all right. Now, on the flip side, you got to be careful because if you come from something like me, when you have children, you will do exactly, they say not to do. Because let me tell you,
yeah,
my kids didn't get an allowance, but they pretty much got everything that they wanted. So, yeah,
right.
you got
Well,
to be
mine,
careful with
mine
that.
got allowance because I told him, look here, man. I said, you got a place to stay, roof over your head, lights on to watch TV, you got food to eat. Hey, that was it.
Right, right. I got you.
But then, when after that, after I got a divorce, and then when my other kids came along, they would ask, they say, Dad, can we wash the car? I said, yeah. They said, you give us $10. I'm like, yeah, I give you 10 because hey, that, like I said, that's what I used to pay. So they go out there, and one of my sons he was from my first marriage. He just up and said, he said, I ain't washing your car. Do I look like a crackhead? I don't want no $10. And my youngest one, he was like, oh, I ain't no crackhead. I'll get the $10, Dad. And Michael, the other one, the two youngest one, they was like, oh, I don't think I'm a crackhead. They said, you dumb. And they both would go out there and wash my vehicle, and I would give both of them $10.
Oh, hey.
And then he would turn around and beg them for some, hey man, let me get $5 from you. You
No.
gotta be crazy.
Yeah. Right, right, right. You ain't want to do the work.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm. All right. So we're going to get into this assignment tonight. We have Mr. Terrence that we're going to be helping out all the way from Richmond, Virginia. So shout out to anybody that is from the VA. So Terrence says, I don't drink every night, but when I do, I stop thinking. And that's the point. Wednesdays are my release. Work is heavy. Family expectations are heavier. By midweek, I feel like I'm carrying everyone's problem but my own. So I pour a glass, sometimes two, order food, put something on TV I won't remember. The credit card comes out without thoughts. I tell myself I'll deal with it later. Later keeps showing up with interest. I've got 3 cards near the limit. None of the purchases were big. No trips, no luxury items. Just years of I'll forget it. I'll figure it out next month. Just years of I'll figure it out next month. I don't feel reckless. I feel tired. Tired of being responsible all day and then expected to be disciplined at night too. The truth is, I avoid looking at my balance because it makes me feel like a failure, like I should be further along at my age, like I don't get to enjoy life until everything is paid off, and that feels impossible. I want to unwind without numbing myself. I want to enjoy my life without financing it. How do you face the tab you've been running without drowning in shame, Terrence? You have anything that you'd like to add for Mr. Terrence?
yeah. Grow up. That's why I look at this, man. And I'm like, hey, dude, if he wouldn't want to talk to me because I probably would be, he would say, be rude to him. Let's tell him to grow up. I'm like, okay, if you can only handle 1 or 2 drinks, you don't need to be drinking.
Yeah.
You don't need to be drinking at all. You went out there, you make these bills, now you don't want to pay the bills. But then he up And you know what got me was the part where he says he has okay, work is heavy. Work is heavy for everybody. Work is
Mhm.
not easy. And that's why I be telling people, that work is heavy for everybody, even athletes. Work is heavy. And I try to explain this. Me and my sons, we talk about it all the time, and I tell them, hey man, nothing is easy. You know, family expectations are heavier. Well, what kind of family expectations is it? Is it taking care of kids? Is it trying to impress other family members? What is
Mm.
it? Because remember, you the one that made this problem. This is something that you made.
Mm.
And the fact he says, he has like I said, one or two drinks, and he and order food and put some on TV and won't remember. Like I said, man, he don't need to be drinking. Period. Then if one or two drinks get him out of his mind, then he need to just drink water and soda. you
I
know that.
know. That's right. Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, I would tell him, dude, I know females can drink more than that, and they ain't out their mind.
Mm.
He to me, then I looked at this and I'm like, how old is this guy? Because he sounds like a young kid that just go out here and just spend money, and he forgets that he has to pay this back. That's why I say when people use credit cards, they got to remember you use the credit cards, but you got to pay them back.
Right.
And if you don't pay them back, it's gonna mount up. And he said he has three cards, and they're almost maxed out. I
Mm.
mean, come on, man, and he said he don't feel reckless. That is reckless. That is reckless. Having three cards almost maxed out, and you put pain on them after each month. I mean, if he don't want to pay on the cards, just put them aside, leave him alone, because all he doing is digging himself in deeper and deeper debt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about he don't, none of the purchases are big, no trips, no luxury item, just years of I'll figure it out next month. Dude, I don't know, man. It just sounds like he went to school, but he wasn't listening.
Mm. Yeah. This is financial avoidance 101. Like you're just avoiding the responsibility, like you said, of growing up and being an adult and growing up and being an adult, because this is childish behavior.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. He talking about at his age, he should be farther along. Well, at your age, you should know, and how I don't know how old that is. You should know better than to go out here and just spend your money and not want to pay it back. And that's something that when people get credit cards, they should, I guess, take a course before they get a credit card. Cause hey, don't get me wrong. I was like that too at one time,
Mm.
and then afterwards I sit back and I'm like, wow, man, I owe this much money to the credit card. Well, I'll send them something just to keep them off my back. But whatever, if you send them the minimum, that's just gonna get ate up in interest for the next month.
Right. Most people don't know that. They just say that, oh, I'm taking care of the bill and giving them something so they don't have to, so they're not calling me. They're basically doing that to avoid getting phone calls and late fees and all of that other stuff.
Right. Then he said he wants to unwind without, without numbing himself. Well, ain't nobody telling you to numb yourself but yourself.
Mm.
you know, and he wants to enjoy life without financing it. Hey, come on, man. That is impossible there. Like I said, he do sound like, to me, when I first read all of this, and I'm like, man, how old is this guy?
Mm. Yeah, I know. It's like I don't know. A mystery.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on, man. I mean, I wasn't that bad. It was bad enough, but when when I felt like I couldn't just, pay on my credit card, I went and threw my credit cards in the drawer in the bedroom and just, forgot about they was there. But whenever a bill came in, I tried to pay on it.
Well, that's good because anybody who's in this situation, I say cut it up. You said throw it in a drawer. I say cut them
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that too. I didn't want to say that because I don't know. That's a good one there. Yeah, just cut it up and and you know what? Just pay it off.
That's what I did. I cut it up because even though that you're making that payment, if you do not have enough discipline, which this is a key issue here in this letter tonight, lack of discipline,
Yeah,
um, you may run the risk of swiping a card because you have a balance that's been paid up on it. So
yeah,
even though that you think that that's free game money to use, it's really not because all you're doing is paying the person back, the bank back, but you're gonna have to pay them back in full, and you can see that that balance, that available credit, it can tempt you into making a mistake. So if you're trying to clean your life up when it comes to, debt, consumer debt, cutting up that credit card, making sure that you're making it harder, if not
yeah.
impossible, for you to go ahead and go into debt again. Like you would have to call up
Right.
the credit card. I'm not even going to say what you would have to do to fix that after you cut it up, but we're not even getting into that because I don't want to put any bad habits out there. But yeah, I say cut them up.
Well, that's why I said I would just toss mines in the drawer. And I know that was my dad one time. He told me, he said, just throw it in the drawer. He said, if you don't trust yourself, leave the damn card. That's like, leave the damn card right here at the house.
I
He said,
got you.
we won't use it. So I just left the card at my parents' house. That way, I know I wasn't going to use it.
But that's good. That's good. That's having discipline. A lot of people don't have that, and they may have to do something more drastic, like cut them up.
Right,
So,
right. And that's
some
why I said this guy he has no discipline because he's complaining about what he got to do for he has to take you have to take care of your work schedule and you got to take care of your family. What you think, man? It's like this kid here. That's why I call him a kid. I'm sorry, shouldn't say that because I don't know. He could be a 30, 40, 50-year old man that's still doing this, but it's almost like he don't want to be responsible for himself, and he don't want to and he complaining about being responsible for other people. But why are you responsible for other people? That would be my next question.
that part right there, absolutely. Because you are not responsible for regulating anybody else's nervous system. God is get God has given you enough on your plate with managing your own. So there ain't no good reason why you feel that you need to be responsible for somebody else's issues. And the people who walk around here acting and taking on other people's burdens and situations and issues and drama. Prime example, what you get here today.
Right.
Somebody
And
can't afford.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to go on a little tangent. Somebody can't afford something, so you think it's your responsibility to go ahead and cover the bill for them. Somebody can't make it here because they didn't do their part. Now you want to jump in and think that it's your duty and your job to go ahead and see that they get to where they need to get to and do the things that they want to do, taking on somebody else's burden, stressing yourself out.
Yeah. And it's like he said, I'm tired of being responsible all day, then expected to be disciplined at night. Well, you know what? I would have to tell him, hey, bro, that's life.
Yeah, he's something else, and he
Yeah.
says that he doesn't feel reckless.
Yeah.
Excuse me? You don't feel reckless. Okay, all right. I mean, racking up credit card bills and then saying that you'll handle it next month,
Yeah.
and then next month's come and then you don't do what you're supposed to do with it, and then wanting to live life and do things, but then we're not wanting to be responsible for the cost that it takes to do those things
Exactly.
that you would borrow from a bank and then not pay them back accordingly. A-
Exactly.
and your response is I'll figure it out next month, and then next month comes and then that's a whole nother story. um if that's not reckless, I don't know what it is. And why at night? You just feel that you just want to give up at night. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't
Hey,
understand.
like I said, you know, it sounds like he's trying to impress somebody at nighttime. I mean, I know I always say that because of the things I've been through, the people I've talked with, and you know, I've seen a lot of things, and I've been through a lot of things too. And it just seems like he's the type he work and then he go out and he wants to show off in front of his boys, as they call them. I'm going and do this, and then when he go home, if he live by himself, he there by himself, and then he's sitting back and wondering why. Well, it's because you're trying to take care of those that don't need taken care of,
Hmm. Yeah.
and you know, like I said, it somewhere it seemed like, and I know I really I can't say this because I've had people, no matter how old I got, talk to me about my spending. Don't spend what you don't have. And I didn't understand what that meant until I got a little bit older, and that means that, you know, I mean, I had credit cards too, but I ain't gonna go out there and max them all out and then it's and not pay them back because that goes on your credit, and you never know when you might need something, like you might need a vehicle or you might need a place to live.
I know you were just gonna say that. That's so important now. Yeah, it's so important nowadays. I remember a couple years ago, I said, F it. I'm tired of these credit cards. I don't even want it. I'm gonna call up the credit card company and they can come and I just don't. I'll pay them their money back, but forget it. I don't even want it open. And
Yeah,
I had somebody warn me and say, Laren, don't do that. And I am so glad that I didn't do that. You have to remember to always keep your oldest credit card open. But my oldest credit card was maxed out to be dams. And I was just over it. I was giving them at least $200 in interest every month. Now you now
Woo.
you times that by 12. When I figured that out, that's what really started this debt-free journey. When I realized how much money I was just giving them in interest alone, I was like,
Yeah,
what? It wasn't even going to the balance. Yeah, but that's what sparked all of this stuff here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny It's funny what like I let her look at this, and then she'll sit here and listen, and then she said, "Huh, oh boy, I need to go to Laren for a 101 class 101." I'm like, "Sure, he needs to go for 099 and start moving up because I bet it's ridiculous, man, and that's why I said he has to be a young person that didn't listen to what maybe, and it don't have to be your dad. It can just be friends or like an uncle or a cousin that talks about, because they've had that issue, and yet okay, no, you don't want to be like them, but guess what, you are like them because you're doing the very thing that they're doing, but you're just hiding it, but it will get to you.
Mm, yeah. He says, "How do you face the tab you've been running without drowning in shame?" And my response to that is just get up and take responsibility for yourself. If you are going to lie to yourself, then what's the point? Like when you stop lying to yourself and you stand up and take responsibility for the mess that you've made, you ain't gonna be worried. What shame? And ain't nobody gonna be able to say anything or do anything to you because the most important person that you need to worry about is yourself.
Yeah.
Worry about what somebody else think. What shame? If you have shame within yourself, then you need to get with self and figure that part out. And first step is to stop lying to yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, like I said, I've had people talk to me, or I sit back and listen, and I seen how a lot of my friends, like they had things, and I was like, dang man, I never asked them how they got it because I knew how they got it. They was disciplined enough,
Mm,
and I knew that I had to make changes within myself.
right.
And if I didn't make them changes within myself, I was gonna go along and be, and I used to always crack this joke. Like I was like, man, I'm one paycheck from being homeless. And I used to say that. I'm like, man, look here, man, I'm one paycheck from being homeless. And you know what? It almost happened. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. What am I doing wrong? I put
Well,
I put the I put the brakes on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, that's a big statement right there to say that, and then you got to be careful because you said it almost happened. So yeah, like
Yeah,
words have power. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I hear that, man, almost
Uh-huh.
every day. Diana she always say that, and I'm like, yeah. I said, I know. And my mom, she would say that too. Words have power, so be careful what you say.
Mm,
You
so
know,
important.
and like
But
I said, that's what I'm saying. It seems like he has nobody to really tell him, or they may be telling him what to do, and he's doing it his way because he think his way is better.
yeah, he's gonna have to get good and sick and tired of himself. The only way that this is gonna fix and anything in life, like you have to make that decision. Can't anybody coerce you into doing anything, pressure you, push you? Because I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm only speaking from experience, but
Yeah,
majority of the situations I was in prior, uh, yeah, you can't do that. Let people be who they are. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but Mr. Terrence, he needs to. Maybe he hasn't hit rock bottom. Maybe he hasn't hit his financial rock bottom. I'm gonna start calling it that, financial rock bottom, because when you hit
yeah,
that financial rock bottom, you'll do anything and everything to get from up out of that pit and make sure that you don't go back in it again. So yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Mm.
But see, he's the type. I would have to talk to him like he my son. I tell him, hey man, you can get mad all you want. I'm gonna tell you the same way I tell my sons. And I said, I don't even have to tell them. They done heard it so much till, they know what they need to do. And, for the most part, they're doing it because they don't want to be that one step from being homeless, or they don't want to be a burden on nobody.
Right. Hmm. All right, that's Mr. Terrence from Richmond, Virginia. Now, it's almost a wrap already. We almost out here already.
Yeah.
Go by so fast. Go by so fast. All right.
Oh
So,
yeah.
what do you have going on this week? Anything
The rest of this week I have on Saturday is an open mic. AP, it's called APS. It's Austin Poetry Society. I had 3 poems accepted into the anthology, and everybody that was accepted is going to read their poems that day. And then Sunday, oh man, it's good. My good friend, he passed away the 1st of January. He's the one was
Sorry.
teaching me. He was teaching me on the bass guitar, and we actually did some songs together. I think I'm gonna post one of them on Instagram that we did together, and they're having a little get together Sunday, so I'm going out there to his house.
Okay.
And once again, my books are at Amazon.com/author/Birdman313. Instagram, Birdman31355. I have videos on there. I have pictures. I have poems. Spotify, Coffee, Wine, and Words platform. If you go to Spotify, look up Coffee, Wine, and Words, and you will see I'm in there amongst other poets. You'll see my videos. I have 12 of them on there. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/authorpoetbirdman31355. I haven't really put any new videos on there. It's been like about 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. But I keep saying I got a couple videos I'm gonna work on that I will be posting on there, and I'm working on my next book. I'm shopping around to try to find somebody to format and help me with the book cover, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's January's big already, and we're like
Yes.
halfway through it. So that's good that you're out and about again. That's good.
Yeah.
Nice to hear
Yeah,
that.
it just takes time. When it happened a couple years ago, that's what it was. But this time here, I'm taking my time more than what I did last time. Taking longer, and just making sure that. I mean, I go to the doctor next month. A neurologist. So, hey,
Okay.
man, and a lot of people think they think it's my ears. And I just pray to God that that's all it is. My ears, and
Hmm.
that's yeah.
Wow. I was thinking last week, I was like, I have to tell Birdman that, we need a almost like a money poem. A money poem. Just think about that. Like think about playing the OJ's that song Money to get some inspiration.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, dude, hey man, that's gonna cramp my mind now. But I'll
I didn't
think of
mean to do
something,
that.
man.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't
That's
mean to
all
do
right. No, that's all
that.
right.
I was thinking like,
I'll
yeah.
do something, man. I'll sit around because when you talked about oops, oops. And then you said the OJ oops upside your head. I'm like, oh yes, I remember
Oh,
that boy.
yeah, that's the Gap Band. The Gap Band.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
yes.
I don't know which one I like most because found out about it from Snap when I was younger, probably like 10
Uh-huh.
years old. And then I heard the original one years later, and I said, "Oh, Snap, I like this one too." But I like both of them. So,
Oh yeah. Oh man,
yeah.
hey boy, hey, you used to be in the clubs with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. But
Yeah.
they both got a message that's important in both songs. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I always say all the old songs has a message in them,
Yeah, yeah.
and a
Mhm.
lot of people don't hear it. Just like a lot of poems have a message. Like I tell people, like a lot of my poems, they're it's a mixture of nature and my life involved in that,
Right,
and other
right.
people, and things that that I've experienced. So, because I had one son say, "How come you don't write a autobiography?" I said, "They're in my poems."
Yeah, that's
I
basically
said,
it, right?
"Yeah." I said, you have to read and you have to remember the things I told you in life, and
Mm,
then you'll understand. You'll see it.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. I got you. All right. Well, we are up against the clock, so we got to get on up out of here. I definitely do appreciate you for coming
Oh
through.
yeah.
As
Oh
always,
yeah.
I tell you, I'm really liking this new season and the episodes. I listened to some of the replays, and I'm like, yeah, this is a good space to be in right now.
Oh yeah. I do too, man.
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
was off, I was like, oh, and Michael, my son Michael, he was like, Dad, y'all coming back, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, man. He said, oh man, and he said, he said Wednesdays. He said, I always look forward to them.
Well, yeah. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna do some announcements because I know that the time difference and all that. There's gonna be a new time change and all of that stuff too. So I've been
Yeah,
after what we experienced today. So that definitely is a must. But it's gonna work out for the good though. It's all gonna work out for the good. So yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in any case, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here so we hit our mark, and I will
Okay,
definitely talk to you this weekend. Of course, got the live Q
right,
and A and all of that good stuff.
right.
So yeah, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you so much for coming through.
Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate it.
anytime, anytime, always. You be careful, man.
You too. All right, take care now.
Yep, you too.
Thank you. Good night.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was author slash poet Birdman 313. Thank you so much for coming through. And I appreciate all you out there for listening. The best thing that you can do is use your virtual voice. Please hit up the comments. Yes, there has been some changes with the podcast. So there is going to be an update as far as the time based on the podcast, based on the shift. I do understand that some people have left and we also have gained some new people. So, what might feel like a setback in some areas definitely is a setup in others. So, in order to fit into the financial space, I know I do my little wine tasting like Wine Down Wednesday, and I know I'm not going to be drinking wine first thing in the morning, but when you listen to the podcast, you may be listening to us in the morning. So stay tuned. There will be more updates and announcements as far as the new time, but there will be a shift. Not an easy decision. I sat here and thought about it for a moment, but it's time for a new shift as far as the time that the show airs. So we still rock here at night. I'm gonna still tell y'all good night, like I always do. I'm gonna still sample my wine at night, but you might just be listening to us at an earlier time frame. So streaming on all social media platforms. So you stay connected. You'll be able to listen to the podcast when you wake up in the morning. Same thing with Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, all of those things. When it comes to the podcast space, based on the themes that we speak about here, we need to have an earlier time frame. And I understand what the show started in the beginning when I first started in 2020, but here it has evolved and turned into something else. And going through from the business aspect of it, looking at it from that aspect, it does calls for us to make a shift in, our time slot. Now, God works in mysterious ways. So some things happen to where I have no choice, and I'm like, okay, I got to pivot because we ran into a bit of a scenario and an issue today. So guess what? It causes for us to pivot, and in order for the 4-in-1 podcast, reading between the wines, to stay relevant and to still be here, we're here 6 years later. So and and got a lot more things coming as far as what I want to do. So that's that, and stay tuned on all social media platforms. I got some announcements, some special events that are coming up for the month of January. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much. And I will see you when I see y'all. Stay tuned. Check us out. All right. Have a good night. Thank you.